Hello folks, Jason Chrisman, JC's Bees, your Central Ohio beekeeper. This week I spent some time testing out the nipple jar feeders from Castle Hives. Remember these? Been talking a lot about them here recently. One of my followers reached out via my Facebook page and told me they bought some of these and they're leaking, even with the jute in them. My first question was, are you using plastic lids or metal lids? And the reason I ask is because I've used these for many years. Not necessarily the ones that Castle Hives is making. Years ago, I made my own nipple feeders out of metal lids and brake line that you would use for your car. And I soldered that into the metal lid. These worked rather well for the first couple usings. And then what happened is this. What do you see? A lot of rust. And that rust don't only get on the inside of the lid. Look at the jar it was on. Is that your experience with mason jars and metal lids? It sure is mine. And I'll tell you why this is important. That rust keeps the seal from actually sealing on these jars. And when you have a jar that's not airtight, what happens is when you invert it or turn it upside down, it needs to create an air pocket. Otherwise, it's going to continuously drip. So this rusty metal lid, you know it's not sealing right. And what happens is this whole jar will pour down in the inside of your colony just because there's no vapor lock. This lid's too dirty to seal. So what I've done to fix that with the Castle Hive nipple feeders is I've upgraded to these plastic lids from Amazon, and they've actually got a rubber seal that pushes up in here, and there is no leaking. There is no problem creating a vapor lock. Now, I did some testing this week just to see how long it takes to get this acquired vapor lock, and I'm going to share the results with you here in a couple seconds. But I'll tell you, I've never run any kind of test on these nipple feeders, whether it was these plastic ones or the metal ones. So I thought this test was rather neat, and I'm anxious to share it with you. So without any further delay, let's jump right into that, and then I've got some other information to share with you today. So let's check out these nipple feeders and see how long it takes for them to quit dripping once you invert them or turn them upside down. Okay, so what I've got is I've got one of Castle Hive's nipple feeders that I have epoxied into a plastic lid that I got from Amazon, and the lids come with these rubber seals. I'm going to stick the rubber seal up inside the lid. Got it seated down in, and here I've got some 1:1 sugar syrup that I mixed up about 45 minutes ago. Still a little warm, but it's cooling down. You can see I got my piece of jute sticking out the top, which I doubled going down through the nipple feeder. What we're going to do now is we're going to insert it in this hole in my nuke lid, and underneath I have a bowl. So we're going to set this on time lapse for about an hour and see how much dripping we get. So as you can see, in roughly 10 minutes, this completely quit dripping. Now let me tell you what I noticed, because I left this setup that you've seen in the video here, or the demonstration, I left it set up for a couple more days afterwards. And what I noticed is, as the nighttime temperatures dropped and cooled down, the next morning when the sun would come up and hit that jar through our glass on our patio or our front porch, the syrup would begin to heat up and it would drip just a little bit more. And I'm going to show you a picture here of the bowl 2 days after running this test. So this is an additional 2 days of the sun coming up, coming through the glass and beating on the jar, and it trickling just a little bit more. This is what was in the bowl after 2 more days. So you can see it can make a little bit of a mess, but if you've got a strong colony, that little bit of syrup going down in the hive is not going to be an issue. The bees can surely take care of that mess and put it where it needs to be, and that is in the cells. So I think these nipple feeders are going to work rather well for me. Now, I didn't test them without the jute. I did leave the jute in, as you've seen. Maybe I need to run another test without the jute and see if the vapor lock is the same. I don't know. What do you think? Leave your comment below. So this week I noticed some dandelions popping up here and there. I didn't get any pictures of them, but I did notice they were starting to pop. I also noticed that when we went to get gas the other day, well, I'll tell you what, just check this out. On our way to the gas station to get some diesel fuel, and look what I see in the farmer's field. Look at all that purple dead nettle. A bunch of it right here too. I make for some happy bees. You watch the bees as they're coming in, you're going to see some what looks to either be bright orange or red, either on the top of their heads or in their pollen baskets. That's most likely from the purple dead nettles just over the hill. Still getting some maple pollen, and I seen some white pollen come in here a minute ago. All this rain, they're not getting very much of the red pollen. You get today, girls, then more rain tomorrow and more rain Thursday. So still at this point, the red buds have yet to pop open, but boy, are they getting close. I imagine in another week or so, the bees will be working the red buds also. That's about all I got for you this week, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this short video. So if you have any questions or comments on today's video, make sure you leave them down below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you pound that like button. And if you're not a subscriber, please make sure you click on that subscribe button so you can see more of my content. Clicking any of these buttons will give you warm, fuzzy feelings the rest of the day. Happy Easter to you. I hope you get to enjoy a great meal and some much needed family time. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday, folks. Thanks for watching JC's Bees.